extremely high character people. I mean, it all kind of stems from there. They're a locker room that hold each other accountable. You bring in people, high character people. You bring in people that want to play the right way. You bring in people who their only focus is winning.
She fits right in with our culture. That's what Becky Hammon said about Paige Bueckers after her smooth 10-point WNBA debut. But here's what people missed. Hammond's words weren't just praise, they were a warning to the rest of the league. I've analyzed every second of Bueckers' 22 minutes on the court, and the treatment she received compared to Caitlin Clark tells us everything about what's really happening behind the scenes, and the W. Hammond's blueprint for Bueckers is about to change the rookie conversation completely. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. While everyone's talking about Caitlin Clark, Coach Becky Hammon just revealed something huge about Paige Bueckers that nobody's paying attention to. The basketball world is obsessed with Clark's every move, but Hammond dropped a truth bomb about Bueckers that changes everything we thought about this rookie class.
When you're building championship culture, how do you build culture? First, number one thing is you bring in great character.
The P. Bueckers might stand for passive in this game. Paige is going to spend a year listening to Chris Sides. Paige is going to turn into what Christy Sides wanted.
Paige Bueckers stepped onto the court for her WNBA debut and immediately looked like she belonged there. In just 22 minutes of playing time, she dropped 10 points with crazy efficiency. She shot 57.1% from the field, hitting 4 of her 7 shots. And from three-point range, even better. Bueckers knocked down 2 of 3 attempts, giving her a sweet 66.7% from deep. She even grabbed 4 rebounds to round out her stat line. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. What really jumped out was how comfortable Bueckers looked from the jump. No nervous rookie mistakes, no deer in headlights moments. She moved with confidence, found her spots, and played her game. Her first basket came against Asia Wilson. Not exactly an easy target for your first professional bucket. That moment showed exactly why Hammond and the Aces are so high on her potential. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Remember how players treated Caitlin Clark in her debut? The pushing, the shoving, the extra physicality. It was like watching someone get hazed on national TV. But with Bueckers, totally different story. As John Liquid pointed out, there was no assault, no pushing, no shoving when it came to Paige. Why such different treatment for these two rookies? The answer might be hiding in Hammond's comments.
Fit that bill of just high character, great work ethic, great people you want to be around at work.
And the big difference is that Sides ball did not suit Caitlin. Caitlin did not care. She still played her game. Seeing Paige, because this might be the worst situation for Paige, because unlike Caitlin Clark, Paige is going to just listen to her coach.
After the game, Becky Hammon said something that sounds simple, but actually reveals her whole philosophy. She fits right in with our culture. Those 7 words tell us everything about how the Aces approach rookie development. They're not throwing their young players to the wolves. They're not setting them up for brutal initiations. They're creating an environment where talent can actually develop. When Hammon says Bueckers fits right in, she's not just giving a nice compliment. She's revealing a strategic advantage. The Aces have built a system where rookies can contribute immediately because the culture protects them. It's like they've created a greenhouse effect for young talent, while other teams are planting their rookies in harsh conditions.
The reason I look so carefully into their character is because that's what the culture is.
Paige is very clearly doing what she's being told. Paige is fitting in, is that Paige has gone from a system to stand around and watch ISO ball being played.
Looking at what Bueckers actually did on the court, her game showed perfect alignment with Hammond's system. She didn't force shots, she made the right passes, she moved off the ball, she played defense with effort. These things might not make highlight reels, but they're exactly what Hammond values. The 10 points were nice, but it was how she got those points that impressed her coach.
You bring in people, high character people, you bring in people that want to play the right way. You bring in people who their only focus is winning.
Instead of fitting out. Paige's job right now was to be Erica Wheeler in the Christy Side system. If everybody else is slow, you play fast. If you want them to run, you force the tempo.
Compare that to Clark's first game. While Clark put up bigger numbers, she faced defensive schemes specifically designed to rough her up. Players were coming at her with extra motivation. The refs were letting physical play go. It was like watching someone trying to perform while people were actively trying to mess with her concentration. Hammond's comments about another rookie, Aaliyah Edwards, give us even more insight into how she evaluates talent. Hammond mentioned that Edwards shot 5 of 8 from three-point range at one point and stated,
Extremely high character people. I mean, it all kind of stems from there. They're a locker room that hold each other accountable.
That realistically was what Paige's job is going to be for Dallas. To be the Erica Wheeler in the Christie side system. And you saw that from 2 players right there. Like, again, I'll talk about the Dallas Wings. They don't run back in defense. They suck.
I like shooting because it gives space to these other players that can get downhill. This shows Hammond thinks about how each player's skills create opportunities for teammates. She's building an ecosystem, not just collecting individual talents. What Hammond really said about Bueckers' performance goes beyond the typical rookie praise. She didn't talk about Paige's scoring potential or athletic ability. Instead, she focused on character and winning mentality. When a coach immediately jumps to talking about culture fit rather than individual stats, that tells you everything about their priorities. The biggest question that keeps coming up, why didn't Bueckers face the same physical treatment as Clark? It's not just luck or coincidence. Hammond's team culture philosophy explains the different reception. The Aces have established a professional environment where the focus stays on basketball. There's no need for the extracurricular stuff we saw with Clark because the Aces have already earned their respect around the league. The way veterans approach rookies often reflects the team's overall culture. On teams with strong leadership and clear identity, rookies get treated as valuable additions. On teams with fractured cultures, rookies become targets for frustration or testing. The smooth welcome Bueckers received speaks volumes about what Hammond has built in Las Vegas. Watching Bueckers move within the Aces system, you can already see the blueprint for her success taking shape.
And Caitlin Clark said, screw that, I'm doing my own thing. But like Paige was saying, you know, we got to push the tempo, we got to push the tempo, we got to get out and run. You're the point guard. You're the one who decides the tempo.
She's not being asked to save a franchise or revolutionize the game. She's being asked to play winning basketball within a proven system. That's a completely different pressure than what Clark faces, and it might be the perfect environment for Bueckers to develop into a star without the growing pains we're seeing elsewhere. Becky Hammond's built something special with the Aces that goes beyond just collecting talent. She's creating an environment where rookies like Bueckers can actually develop instead of getting thrown into the WNBA version of the Hunger Games. That's the secret sauce nobody's talking about. The smooth welcome Bueckers received in her debut tells us more about her future success than any stat could. While Clark's fighting through physical defense and media pressure, Bueckers is learning how to win at the highest level. You know what's crazier? Watch how many coaches try to copy this blueprint next season. The culture first approach isn't just nice, it's working.